I get my best makeup inspo from Vogue.
And I get my best makeup inspo from drag queens, so this is gonna be interesting. Hey, welcome to my video. If you're from my Instagram, I love you, and if you're not from my Instagram, love you all the same. So today I am recreating Kathryn Newton's Vogue Beauty Secrets video. And you know what? To be fair, she's been on my radar probably since like Supernatural. I've loved her. I always thought she was so beautiful. So when I saw her drop this video, I was like, yes, absolutely, that's what I need to do as well. Now, do I expect to look like her by the end of this? Absolutely not, as I am not a magician, but we're just here to have fun, okay? So let's go. Right, so she put her hair in a bun. I have my hair up in a bun. She was rocking pajamas. I'm rocking PJs now too. And basically she started off with a clean face. She cleansed her entire face. My face is clean. And then she went on to eye patches and a mask. Now, I will be honest, I don't have like a spreadable mask anywhere here. I only basically ever really use sheet masks. So today I'm just gonna apply a serum instead of a mask. But the eye patches are a go. I love a good eye patch. They're very hydrating and my under eyes are drier than the Sahara Mama. So this is gonna do me a world of good. Okay, so while that's on, I'm gonna exfoliate my lips just like she did. I'm just dabbing off some lip gloss I had on. Okay, so now I can really get the party going. I'm using a lip scrub by Planet Revolution today. Okay, so that did a beautiful job. It also smelled really yummy, so I'm really happy I did that actually. Now I'm gonna move on to a lip mask. And once I put this on, I won't be able to talk, which is honestly a blessing in disguise sometimes. So I'm gonna apply this and be back in 10 minutes. Okay, so now I took everything off and that felt so good. I wish I could start every makeup routine like this, like skincare first and a little pamper session, because this feels so nice right now. Also, please look at how pouty my lips look. Who am I serving? Who would play her? Am I giving Amanda Lepore, yes or no? Okay, so now she applied some toner to her face and she called it an attitude adjustment. And that is the only name for toner that I will be using from this day forth. That is so funny, I'm dead. So I'm gonna let that absorb into my skin for like 30 seconds, at least a minute maybe, and then I'm on to moisturizer. And you know what, I have a question. If you're one of these people who starts their makeup routine every single time just like this, with masks and eye patches and serums and tonics and a lot of great skincare, what does it feel like to be God's favorite? Because I'm not that girl. I wish I was. I do obviously my regular little skincare routine, but I don't always pamper myself with all the masks and such, even though I feel like I should, honestly. So when it's time to apply actual makeup to my face, mama, I just take a shovel and go in, which might not be the best approach, but I didn't say it was the best, I just said it was an approach. So now that my moisturizer is on, I can move on. Right, so this is where the actual makeup portion comes in. So she applied some concealer, then color corrected, then applied concealer over the corrector, but I'm not gonna do all that. I'm just gonna color correct first and then go in with concealer. Okay, so I've said this before and I will say it until my dying breath. Age Rewind is a great concealer, love the formula. Whoever came up with this stupid applicator, I have a question for you. It goes as follows. Number one, how dare you? Okay, I'm calming down now and I'm just applying the concealer. I was gonna say I'm not gonna apply a lot, but then I just saw how much I actually applied. So forget that, scratch that. I'm just gonna apply some, did I say concealer? I meant color corrector, girl, to my under eyes. I also have some dark purple spots and shadows right here in the inner corner, so I'm gonna apply it there as well. Honestly, in retrospect, I could have applied an even peachier color corrector, but too late now. Anyways, now I'm just applying concealer everywhere that I think I might need it. Which again, she did not apply a lot, but she is so naturally beautiful. She seems like she doesn't have a single blemish, so I need a little extra help. And I'm also applying it on the under eyes as well. Okay, and now I have another question. So do people who apply concealer first before foundation actually end up applying less foundation on their face? Yes or no, comment below. Because I feel that, I understand that, but me personally, I just end up applying the same amount of foundation every time anyway, so then why would I start with concealer, you know? So while we're on the topic of foundation, she applied the teeniest amount to her face. I will not be doing that. I really, as you can see, need all the help I can get.
True.
But I'm gonna try and apply less than I normally do. So to be fair, I look well rested now, sort of, kind of, right? Like, let's not go overboard, but I look better right now. So I have hope for this makeup look. So now it's on to foundation, like I said, and she just applied like a dot of it on, but honey, what we're not gonna do today is kid ourselves. So how about this? This amount seems like something I can live with. Did that even do anything? Be honest. I don't think it did. Maybe, how about just a pinch more? Okay, just like a couple more dots like this, and I swear I'm finished. So now we're on to bronzer, and Queen applied it with her fingers, which I think is actually a really good technique for it to look as natural as possible. Granted, that's not my everyday goal personally, but it is today, so that's what we're doing. And I'm just applying it on my actual cheekbone. So I used to do it here, but if you just put it here, it snatches your face really nicely. So that's what I'm doing. Obviously, I'm doing the same thing on this side. So I can't actually remember if she applied it all over her face, but I am gonna do that. I'm gonna apply some more to my forehead and my temples just so I can even everything out. If you regularly get foundation in your hair, raise your hand. I also have to dab some on to my double chin, like I have to, but it's very natural, so it's not really gonna help, but that's okay. Moving on to brow gel, and she really doesn't fill her brows in at all. I might have to fill mine in just a little bit, but I am gonna try and make them as fluffy as possible with, you know, working what I got. Because what you gotta understand is her brows naturally look like straight out of Vogue, basically. And mine look like what you would find in an ad for like male pattern baldness, you know? So we're not even on the same playing field at all, but I'm trying to get there. Now, me personally, I would have done this before foundation though, because the brow gel is sort of mixing with the foundation now and it's looking kind of peely, but I guess I can go back in and clean that up. My point is though that it wouldn't need any cleaning if the order was switched, but this is fine.
This is fine.
Okay, so my brows are basically not fluffy at all, and I do need to fill them in just a tiny bit at least, but I'm not gonna go overboard. Although I always say that, don't I? And then it never actually ends up being true, but oh well. Okay, this is it. So at this point, she just powders her entire face just ever so slightly with a thin little veil of powder. So that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, so now she moves on to blush, and I actually am using the same blush that she used in the video. This is Dandelion by Benefit. This is one of my favorites because it's just so pretty. This is the dewy version though, and it's a mini. I got it in one of their travel kits, I believe. I really don't remember, but I love using it. So now eye makeup, which in this look is practically non-existent, but she's using a nude eyeliner in her waterline, which honestly is so like 2010, but it really does brighten the eyes, just like she says. So now she also applies it under that, like on the under eye area, and I'm gonna do that as well and see what actually it does. It probably makes the eyes look bigger, but I'm just gonna blend that in with a brush ever so slightly. Honestly, I really don't like the look of that right now. It looks a little crazy, but that's okay, we're moving on. So next she applies a sparkly eyeshadow in a pencil form, which I haven't done since, I don't know, 8th grade probably. So this is the only shade that I could find, but it's actually really pretty now that I'm looking at it. This would probably photograph pretty nicely. I'm just applying one more little layer. So at this point, it's a brown eyeliner on top, on the lid, and the tiniest wing I've ever seen in my life, and just on the outer corner. So that's what I'm gonna do as well. Except on me, it's gonna look garbage, mama, but that's okay. So for me, this eye makeup is sort of giving like I slept in my makeup vibes. You know how sometimes you're too tired to take everything off and you just fall asleep with your makeup on or whatever, and then you wake up the next morning and half of it is rubbed off? Yeah, it's very that right now. Okay, so now it's chapstick time. And while that's melting into the lips, I'm gonna curl my lashes, which I honestly rarely do because my lashes love to be pinned straight and this really does not help. However, the only thing that does sort of help me a little bit is applying this lash serum. Now, obviously she skipped this step, but if I want to look halfway decent, I can't skip this. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm finishing that off by using my favorite mascara. So now she just brushed out her hair and applied some hair oil to it, which, let's be honest, I need today because my hair is very dry. So I'm just applying a generous amount of that on. Okay, work. So she did red lips. I'm doing red lips. So she started off with red lip liner, which I love. If she didn't line her lips, I would have cried 1,000 silent cries. But basically, she does a little heart-shaped Heeeyyy. So that's what I'm gonna do, but I obviously can't talk during this. Also, I'm just overlining a tiny bit here. What if I just left it like this? How crazy would I look at the grocery store? Anyway, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna apply the lipstick now. Okay, so we only have about 2 steps left here, people. So she basically powders her eyes now with a brightening powder. I look like I'm recovering from the flu, so I need more concealer. I really do. And I'm gonna let it sit for a second, more precisely about 30 seconds, and then once that time is up, I'm gonna blend it out with my fingers for maximum coverage, and then I'm gonna brighten up the under eyes. So for this, I'm using a banana powder that I normally use and love, but I'm not letting it bake though. I'm immediately dabbing it into the skin with a brush. Okay, so at this point, she applies some highlighter all over the face, which you know I really love and appreciate. So I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna apply it basically to the usual spots. So on my cheekbone, on my nose a little bit on my forehead, just a tiny bit to balance it out, and probably my cupid's bow as well. And then we can really see what this look is all about. Okay, so this is the finished look. Now on camera, I actually think it looks pretty cute. In person though, it's a little bit different. It still isn't bad. It's still kind of cute, but it does feel a little unfinished to me and on me personally. Now the reason for that is because I'm wearing such a bold full coverage lip, but my skin is not full coverage. The two things sort of don't mesh together for me. This actually looked really great on Kathryn, but on me, with the little amount of foundation that I applied, you can still see some of my imperfections peeking through and some blemishes and such. Now there's obviously nothing wrong with that. It's just, if it's that type of look, I would personally add a nude lip or just a clear lip gloss or a lip balm or something. I wouldn't go full coverage on the lips if the skin itself is really not full coverage. But honestly, that might be just a personal preference. Let me know what you think about this look down in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, then please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!